The boy named Sky is a very good street chef. He cooks so well that people from all around the world come to his small restaurant to taste the dishes prepared by him. Because Sky's cooking carries a touch of olden days traditional flavor, it imparts a unique measure to his culinary skills, and his simplicity enhances the taste manifold. But behind his skillful chef persona, there is a story of kindness that will touch your emotions. When Sky was very young, his father was an excellent chef with a great reputation. So, since childhood, Sky's father wanted to mold his son into a chef just like him. However, due to Sky's young age, he could never cook the way his heart desired. Because of this, his father would always scold him, saying that he could never become a chef. Even at this age, he couldn't properly make a simple dish like noodles, and for this reason, with regret, I used to call you my son. One day, Sky's father left him with someone and went away. From that day forward, his life became tough, and he had to endure many hardships. But now, grown up, Sky deeply resents his father because he had abandoned him. Currently, Sky's father, Mr. K, is the most renowned and respected chef in China. In China, people now refer to him as the god of cooking. The guy named DK Paul is a famous chef in France. His cooking is so tasty that all the royal families in France enjoy eating his dishes. The king and queen of France admire his cooking a lot. So, a famous restaurant there wants to hire him as a senior chef. However, to everyone's surprise, Paul decides not to join there. He wants to fulfill his father's dream by opening a restaurant in his own country, China. One day, he returns to China and opens a big restaurant there. Later, one day, Paul goes to a fish market and asks a vendor to give him the biggest fish from his shop. However, the vendor informs him that the largest fish has already been sold. After that, Sky comes there. The vendor gives the big fish to Sky, which makes Paul very angry. This leads to an argument between the two of them. Later, through a beautiful event, Paul opens his restaurant, which looks stunning and dazzling. Unfortunately, Sky's restaurant is in the opposite direction. However, his restaurant is not as big or beautiful as Paul's. Seeing this, his friends became very angry, but they didn't do anything. On the other hand, as Sky's customers were heading to Paul's beautiful and large restaurant, Sky's friends came with a handheld microphone and announced, "Today, we offer a 50% discount on all food in our restaurant." After hearing about the discount, everyone goes to Sky's restaurant. This creates a commotion among the people at Paul's restaurant with his friends from Sky. Then, the people in Paul's restaurant announce that there will be a competition between the two of them, and whoever wins will have everyone go to their restaurant. After that, their competition begins. They are given a fish for a fish cutting competition. Firstly, Paul skillfully and quickly cuts the fish, lifting out the fillets with precision. Everyone is amazed at his exceptional skill. After that, he throws the fish to Sky. When Sky starts cutting it, at first, nobody understands what he is doing. However, slowly, everyone becomes really surprised watching Sky's fish-cutting skills. Then, he tosses the fish back to Paul. Seeing their skills, everyone applauds, and a chairperson present there requests them to participate in an international competition. He tells them that they will be taken to the international competition. Both of them agree to this proposal. Later, one day, a news broadcast on TV announces that both Paul and Sky are guaranteed for the competition. However, they have to compete locally first, and the winner from here will be taken to the international competition. The winner will also get the opportunity to compete with Mr. K. Later, Mr. K is asked if he has a son in an interview. He says he doesn't have one. Sky feels very sad when he hears this. Then one day, Paul's girlfriend invites Sky to their restaurant. Sky and his girlfriend go to Paul's restaurant. There, they are served a dish that looks like a beautiful plant. After eating it, Sky realizes that it was crafted in a very special way. Afterward, Sky goes up to Paul with the food and says, "Are you trying to make me feel inferior by doing all this? You want to show off your cooking skills, don't you? You want me to stop my cooking show so that my confidence goes down." However, Paul doesn't say anything because that was his intention all along. Then, Paul challenges Sky once again to make that dish in his own style. This time, Sky agrees to cook it. He first beautifully cuts and frees the meat and then cooks it in a very artistic way. While everyone is pleased with his cooking, Paul remains unimpressed. Then, Paul takes the same meat and uses modern technology to cook it beautifully and very quickly. After that, Sky takes a bite of the dish and realizes that despite being prepared in a very short time, it tastes delicious. However, Sky becomes disappointed and leaves the place. The next day, the first level of the competition begins, and a lot of people have gathered to watch. The competition starts, and Sky begins by cooking a chicken in a somewhat classic style. Everyone is very surprised to see this. On the other hand, Paul is cooking in his own unique and modern style. He is preparing a dessert with various sweet flavors, and he manages to create it in a very short amount of time. However, Sky had taken the entire time to prepare that dish. When the cooking was finished, judges tasted the dishes, and unfortunately, both Paul and Sky had received the same score. Then a judge comes on stage and says, "Both of you have cooked exceptionally well. Sky, with your expertise and timely cooking, and Paul, you've demonstrated true artistry in your cooking. However, the essence of the dish has truly been captured within Paul's preparation. Therefore, in this competition, Paul is declared the winner." Paul was celebrating his restaurant's victory when a partner approached him. The partner expressed a desire for Paul's girlfriend to participate in the international competition alongside Paul. Moreover, they aim to internationally promote their restaurant through this opportunity. Paul hears this and says she has no experience in cooking. Just then, his girlfriend arrives, placing 2 cups of coffee in front of him and asking which one has more sugar. Paul realizes she has revealed everything about his lack of a sense of taste. At that moment, his girlfriend tells him, "I never loved you. Instead, I wanted to learn cooking from you." Paul becomes very disappointed and sits in a corner, sipping on his drink. Sky comes over and starts talking to him. She wants to know why he is drinking, and Paul decides to share everything that happened between him and his girlfriend. At some point, Paul shows a photo of Mr. Ko in front of Sky and says, "This person is my idol. It's my dream to compete with him." Then, Sky tells him that this person is his father. However, if Paul didn't believe anything he said, Sky then opened up to him and revealed everything to Paul. Hearing all of this, Paul feels very upset. Eventually, they both become friends. Then, both of them cook together and learn to cook in each other's style. They enjoy cooking together and are amazed at each other's culinary skills. After that, one day, Paul tells Sky, "You will participate with me in the international competition. Together, we will beat your dad, Mr. Ko." Hearing this, Sky is very surprised, but agrees to the proposal. Then, one day, the international competition begins. In the first level, they cook with several teams and create such beautiful dishes that they win the first level. The judges praise their cooking a lot. However, a problem arises here. In the final round, only one person from Sky and Paul will have the opportunity to cook. Then, Sky tells Paul, "You cook very well, so I want you to compete against Mr. Ko in the final round instead of me." Then Paul says, "No, not me, you will compete with your dad. You need to convince your dad that you are a capable son." After this, Sky agrees with him. After that, the competition in the final round begins. In this round, only Mr. Ko and Sky are participating. However, when the competition starts, Mr. Ko quickly begins cooking, but Sky, instead of cooking, starts reflecting on his past. When his father had left him alone, other children had mocked him a lot. Sky saw that Mr. Ko was not happy, so he threw water on Sky's face and said to cook faster. After thinking about his past, Sky decided what dish to cook. They both started cooking with great skill. Then, within a specified time, they completed their cooking. When the judges came forward to taste their dishes, they were very pleased after having Mr. Ko's food. But Sky, instead of presenting her own cooked dish to the judges, takes it to her father and asks him to taste it, and he had cooked noodles, a dish his father had left her to learn to cook since childhood. Then Sky lets his father taste the food and starts to leave the place. After that, his father starts eating the food. The food was so delicious that after eating it, his father said, "Well, dear, this was the best food I've ever had in my life." At that moment, his father emotionally enjoys the noodles and realizes his own mistake. In the final phase of the story, it is seen that Sky and Paul have together opened a restaurant, which is crowded with customers. Subscribe for more content like this.